Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Thursday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico hanging out with you guys wherever you may be. Appreciate you tuning in. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line, both open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How's the day?
It's great. It's actually pretty warm outside.
Yeah, and it's not going to be too bad the rest of the week.
This is a beautiful fall day here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Terrell Farley must have been on the headphones that I'm using because...
Are you deaf now?
I cannot hear anymore. There we go. We have a lot coming up on the show today. Plenty of stuff to talk about. Lincoln Arneal is going to join us at 1:30 to talk Husker volleyball. But before that, we're going to dive into a little Big Ten football. And what I mean by that is that there's going to be a schedule release later today. 2024 schedule for the entire Big Ten Conference will be released around 3 p.m. Central Time today. However, as things always are by media people, I guess, they're scooped and they're released early. So the full schedule release,
as happens,
and a full schedule release is going to be announced at 3 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Brett McMurphy of the Action Network.
How frustrating is that?
So Brett McMurphy, the Action Network, posted highlights of the schedule.
Oh, he was just like, here are the ones that are good.
Yes, and Nebraska it makes a couple on his list, right? There, it all starts out with a September 21st game with USC at Michigan.
Ooh.
Now, once again, this is all, this is finalized stuff.
Why can't USC visit Michigan in November?
I don't know. You make a very good point.
Why do the California schools have to come to the Midwest in the early portion of the season?
You say that, but just wait.
Okay.
Nebraska will travel to Ohio State on October 26th.
That's not a highlight.
Okay.
That's not a highlight at all.
Nebraska will travel to Ohio State on October 26th.
Who was that a highlight for?
The following week, UCLA travels to Lincoln on November 2nd.
Man.
The same week.
If only.
How about this slate in the Big Ten just for November 2nd of 2024?
Oh.
Oregon at Michigan.
Ooh.
UCLA at Nebraska. Ohio State at Penn State.
Ooh.
USC at Washington. You want to talk about
that's already happened.
An incredible conference slate?
There's going to be no Caleb Williams for Michael Penix, though.
That's a very good point.
Well, maybe not Caleb Williams. There won't be a Michael Penix.
Yeah, until he wants to get paid. But there's the five-star quarterback that I'm blanking on the name of USC that they went out and got in the recruiting class.
Sure.
He's going to be out there. So other ones on November 9th, Iowa will travel to UCLA.
I want UCLA in Iowa November 9th.
And then how about this? On November 9th, Washington will travel to Penn State.
Yes.
There you go. Wide out that game, not the Ohio State game the week before.
Wide out both of them.
Okay.
You know what you need? Oh, you just thought about this because you just so that Penn State game, wide out, right?
Yeah.
Stadium's wide out. Penn State wears whatever home uniforms they wear. I think the blue tops are home. Whatever.
Yeah.
Ohio State, the all black unis.
There you go.
It has to happen, right?
There you go. I'm on board. So once again, then November 16th, Oregon will travel to Wisconsin. Nebraska will travel to USC.
Oh, when?
All right. November 16th.
That's 2 days before my 2024, 32nd birthday.
It'd be 1 year. It'd be 1 year older than you are now. The following week, UCLA travels to USC.
No, 31st. Yeah.
Okay. UCLA travels to USC the following week. Wisconsin travels to Lincoln. Wisconsin and Nebraska.
Yeah, that's happened before.
On November 30th, on the last week of the regular season, Michigan at Ohio State, obviously, Washington at Oregon, and Nebraska at Iowa. So there you go. No Black Friday. Remember that. No Black Friday next year.
What a tragedy.
Yeah. It could be Black Friday. No, it would not be Black Friday.
Be.
But once again,
well, wouldn't it? Well, hold on. When is that one?
November 30th.
Let's find out.
We can quickly find out. So once again, these are just the highlights. You have USC, Michigan, Wisconsin will travel to USC at some point. Washington is going to have to. How about this? Washington on September 28th will have to travel to Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
And then on November 9th, Washington will have to travel to Penn State.
So Thanksgiving's the, fourth Thursday in November?
Yep. Yes.
So it would be Black Friday.
It would be Black Friday.
It would be Black Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
wait, what? The 30th?
The 30th, Rico.
That's a Saturday.
Okay, so not Black Friday.
Tragic.
So once again,
just move it back a day.
Well, it'd be moving it up a day. So once again, UCLA. How about? I mean, just think about some of these cross country trips, right?
So much.
Washington travels to Rutgers. Washington travels to Penn State. UCLA is going to have to travel to Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
USC has to travel to Minnesota, which isn't necessarily cross country. But then you have Penn State having to travel to USC. You have UCLA having to travel to Rutgers. You have
that sucks.
Let's see where else. Washington going to Penn State.
It's a lot of.
There's a lot of cross country.
A lot of those West Coast teams are going to Penn State.
Yeah.
But have you heard from
home games for Penn State? And there's going to be additional ones.
Yeah.
Home games for Penn State include Washington,
mm-hmm.
UCLA, Ohio State, and that's all on these highlights.
Those season ticket holders are getting their money's worth.
Yeah, for those games next year.
Have you heard from some of the other media members how difficult or annoying or
I've heard Happy Valley is
they don't
gross.
like traveling to Happy Valley?
That's what we've heard.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
So
have fun.
Anyway, yeah. So those are just some of the highlights. We'll get the full scoop at 3:00 when the breakdown is officially released between the Big Ten Conference. Is going to be broken down and released live on the Big Ten Network at about 3 p.m. Central Time. So you'll get Nebraska's entire schedule starting at 3 p.m. for the 2024 slate. But obviously this week they got Michigan State, and so we'll dive plenty into that in the 1:00 segment. As always, 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line are both open to you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. Download our app if you haven't. Follow us on Twitter if you haven't, and keep on listening to us throughout the entire day. When we come back, let's talk a little high school stuff, because we have state volleyball going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have high school football playoffs tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple intriguing matchups there. And to close out the noon hour, we'll just kind of dive into that a little bit before we go into the 1:00 hour and talk full Husker football. We'll be joined by Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated at 1:30 as well to talk Nebraska volleyball. And we'll all wrap it up with Austin and Strick on the crossover. So that's the plan for the day. We got a loaded show for you guys coming down the line here. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My dream was to work in commercial banking. but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
If you're like most guys with symptoms, you don't want to ask for help. Perhaps a free consult with the men's health experts will encourage you. What could it hurt? Limitless knows exactly how to treat your symptoms. They will verify with a blood test, and in a very short time, you'll feel like a new man. So don't drag your feet. You're not going to feel better unless you get help. The providers at Limitless know what they're doing. To receive your custom treatment plan, schedule online at limitlessmail.com and get your life back.
Hey, Santa, we're getting a lot of requests for Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic scratch tickets this year.
Makes sense. Until January 3rd, 2024, players can enter non-winning tickets online for a chance to win 1, 5, 10, or 20,000 bucks.
Yeah, but I built like 1 million wooden trains.
Why do you keep making those?
They're a classic holiday gift.
Oh, trust me, Jingles, there's nothing more classic than cash.
Top prize odds vary by game. Did you know that when you play games from the Nebraska Lottery, you're also supporting and even... That's right. Since 1993, the Nebraska Lottery has raised more than $900 million for Nebraska's environment, educational opportunities, and state fair. So to everyone who plays, we say... The Nebraska Lottery, 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's. The sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico hanging out with you guys here. 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line both open for you. Quick segment here as we round out the noon hour and get you ready for the 1 o'clock hour. And let's just talk a little high school football here because we have continued coverage of Nebraska high school state football playoffs coming at you tomorrow night. 8 p.m. kickoff, number 3 Elkhorn South, number 11 seed Lincoln East coming at you tomorrow night. Lincoln East coming off of that upset, quote-unquote upset, win over number 6 seed Lincoln Southeast.
You don't consider it an upset?
Somewhat. Lincoln East beat Lincoln Southeast earlier in the season in double overtime.
Okay.
Lincoln East is probably the better team, but in terms of seeding, Lincoln East was 5 spots lower.
Okay.
So that's why it's a quote unquote.
I get it.
But nonetheless, so
Just
Lincoln
needed
East,
your rationale.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Lincoln East going into the game, Lincoln Southeast probably should have won. Lincoln Southeast has this ground and pound type of offense. They have a good quarterback as well, and Owen Baxter.
And it would work well for how cold that night was.
Yeah, couldn't get the job done. And give credit to Lincoln East in that situation. The guys up front, the Noah Petersons of the world, the Caden Cheddocks of the world. And they were able to force a couple turnovers as well, and that certainly helped the Spartans last Friday. So now tomorrow night, right? It's a much more difficult challenge in Lincoln East going up to Elkhorn South, who is number 3 in the state currently.
The Wolves.
No, the Storm.
Elkhorn
South.
Dang it.
Storm.
Dang it.
Elkhorn North is playing tomorrow. Elkhorn North hosts Scotts Bluff in Class B, by the way.
That is a heck of a drive.
So, very much so. Now, here's what's even crazier. Some of the other matchups that are happening tomorrow.
Okay. Who's Westside going to beat by 50?
Omaha Westside, the number 1 overall seed, coming off of a 54-6 bludgeoning against Creighton Prep.
Oh, not quite 50. My bad.
Right? 54-6. They now play number 9 seed, the 7-3 Bellevue West Thunderbirds.
Damn it.
So tomorrow night, 7 p.m. kick for Omaha Westside and Bellevue West. Bellevue West coming off of a 48-34 victory against Papillion La Vista in the first round. Other matchups, you had an upset in Kearney, Nebraska, where the 13 seed Grand Island beat number 4 Kearney 29-19.
That's a rivalry right there.
Is it?
That's a rivalry.
The Islanders beat the Bearcats? Okay.
They don't like each other.
So now that means Millard West and Grand Island are going to face off. A number 5 seed Millard West going up against number 13 seed Grand Island at Millard West tomorrow night. Well, it's just technically they're playing at Millard South.
I couldn't tell you much about the teams, but I just know that Grand Island usually is a scrappy team. You can't overlook them.
So then you look at the bottom bracket, right? And this is just the quarterfinals tomorrow. Elkhorn South, Lincoln East. We told you that one. And then in the night in the other 8 p.m. game happening at Millard South coming off of a 38-0 win against Lincoln North Star. They will face the 10 seed, the Omaha North Vikings.
Ooh.
Omaha North won 35-34 in double overtime to the Gretna Dragons last week at Gretna. So that knocked Gretna out. Omaha North advances. They ended up going for 2 in the second overtime.
Yeah.
They ended up going for 2 instead of kicking the extra point, and they got it.
Ooh.
And so Omaha North then won 35-34 in double OT. They will face Millard South tomorrow night. So once again,
going to be a physical matchup.
There's a lot of good games tomorrow night. It's the Omaha North and Millard South at 8 p.m., Elkhorn South and Lincoln East. That you'll be able to hear that one on the ticket here at 8 p.m. We'll have pregame coverage around 7:45. Millard West and Grand Island, and then Omaha West Side and Bellevue West, with all semifinal spots on the line.
I don't like that.
Yep.
I don't like Omaha West Side went to Bellevue West earlier this year and kind of smoked them.
Yeah. Well, Bellevue West was dealing with injuries.
They were.
Omaha West Side's tough.
I know. It's scary.
And Bellevue West has to go to Omaha West Side here.
I'm a root for my T-Birds.
You're a T-Bird.
Always and forever.
There you
T-Birds fly together.
It's remarkable just looking at some
Kalen,
of the...
I'm watching you, bro.
I'm watching. Well, here's the thing. We had this conversation last week prior to our first round game where you look at some of just the records, and obviously the records don't tell the whole story, but like Bellevue West is a 9 seed with a 6-3 record. You had Elkhorn South, who is the 3 seed, 8-1. Kearney, 8-1. They're knocked out now, though. You have Papillion La Vista, who ended up losing to Bellevue West last week at home. Papillion La Vista, home of Nebraska tight end commit Eric Ingerson, by the way. Papillion La Vista, 8-1 record, and they were the number 8 seed.
Yeah.
It's incredible, just some of the strength of schedule and the teams that they're playing elsewhere and stuff like that. It's really good. Then today and throughout the week, we have state volleyball going on right now at Pinnacle Bank Arena. I made my way down there a little while ago and watched just some Class D action for teams like Shelton, Wynot, Cambridge. Stewart was playing, Meriden was playing. So there were some interesting matchups going on right now. Some really good talent in those lower classes too in the volleyball world. So we'll keep you updated. Scott, as I mentioned this morning, going for 9 straight Class B state championships.
That's a ridiculous number.
The number 1 seed in Class A, which is Papillion La Vista South. They have 4 players continuing their collegiate, or I should say athletic and academic careers in college playing volleyball. Papillion La Vista South, the 2-time defending state champion. They were going for 3 in a row, lost to number 8 seed Papillion La Vista.
I believe it was
yesterday.
only their second loss of the season, and both losses have come to the Monarchs.
Yeah. So Papillion La Vista, as the 8 seed, beats out Papillion La Vista South, the number 1 seed, yesterday in Class A.
That's what rivalries do.
Lincoln Southwest beat Pius, I know. Omaha West Side advanced. So there's just a quick little brief introduction into state volleyball going on down at Pinnacle Bank Arena. We'll have plenty of high school coverage coming your way the rest of the week and weekend, all leading you into Nebraska football against the Michigan State Spartans on Saturday. So, all right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll dive deep into Nebraska football, talk about some of the defense with Nebraska. We might have some Matt Rule press conference sound bites from earlier today. So we'll dive into all that and more as we welcome in hour number 1 right here on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln.
Come work at Continental today.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. This is the happy hour. Excuse me.
This is still the happy hour.
This is still the happy hour. 402-464-5685. Welcome back. Nick, Rico with you guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Feel free to chime in 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. Got a loaded hour here as we're going to talk Husker football, Husker basketball, and Husker volleyball all in a short amount of time. So let's get rolling. We'll start here with basketball because Fred Hoiberg just spoke to the media about 30 minutes or an hour ago about just Nebraska as they are getting ready to open their season on Monday against Lindenwood. We already did a deep dive into Lindenwood. It's in Missouri. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole again.
Great campus.
Great campus, according to Rico. Good partying campus.
I didn't get to party, but it looked like it.
It looked like it was a fun partying campus.
I wanted to.
Okay.
Well, we were there for business.
Stop me if you've heard this before from just another Nebraska program. Nebraska basketball coach Fred Hoiberg regarding the team's injuries says, quote, says, quote, hopefully we're getting it out of the way early. It's a next man up mentality. Right? So
It's almost like a lot of coaches use that verbiage.
Yeah. And you're probably saying, all right, Nick, well, what are the injuries? Keisei Tominaga is out of the boot. Walking around okay, but out of the boot, uncertain for Monday.
I wouldn't play him.
Against Lindenwood, probably not.
I just wouldn't.
Now you have to ask the question, does Nebraska have the breathing room to?
I mean, even if it wasn't Lindenwood, I still think I wouldn't because I want him for the rest of the season. Game one, and I understand, game one you want to get off on the right foot, but it's a long season, and if you lose to whoever in the first, they're not going to lose to Lindenwood, right? Like that's not going to happen. And I know.
Wait a minute.
I know. But no matter who it was, I would have rested him just because it's so quick after the injury, and you are going to need him later on.
Yeah.
If he re-aggravates it, and then it takes longer for him to come back. I just, first game, chill.
So Keisei is out of the boot per Fred Hoiberg. Rink Mast, who you'll remember basically got attacked randomly by a former North Dakota State linebacker, allegedly. He's done some non-contact practicing. Same with Josiah Alec. Same with Ramel Lloyd Jr. as well. Blaise Keita is doing some spot shooting, according to Fred Hoiberg, not running or jumping at all. And then how about this? 4 of the players are out with strep throat right now.
Fantastic.
So just a little bit of sickness going on throughout the team as well.
There's just sickness going around the city of Lincoln. Like it happens. It's happening. You still got time. I mean, it's Thursday. The game is until Monday.
You do have time.
You'll be golden, hopefully, with those 4 with strep throat. And maybe you'll see the other, was it Rink Mast, Ramel Lloyd, and Josiah Alec, depending on how much contact they can get into over the weekend, if they can go on Monday. But those 3, again, it seems like you probably won't see them also.
This is kind of a bummer because, as a Nebraska basketball fan, you kind of wanted to see some of these guys. I think, and there's been some more excitement for Nebraska basketball, maybe now than in years past, potentially, to where you have a guy in Rink Mast coming from Bradley, and yes, you're still going to get to see guys like Jerron, Boogie Coleman, and you're going to be able to see guys like a Bryce Williams if he's not one of them with strep throat. But now here's the deal. Unfortunately, with the situation going on with Rink, he's got to get fully healthy. He's got to feel comfortable with the situation. Josiah Alec as well, because once the Nebraska gets into the grind of the season, and they're going to certainly need a lot of those guys, especially the Josiah Alex, especially the Rink Mast of the world.
Well, especially those guys are gonna get beat up once you get into the meat of the season. Like you're in the Big Ten. The Big Ten loves its bigs. You guys are gonna be playing down there in the paint, banging bodies with those other big dudes. So it's gonna be one of those things where, like you said, you've got to feel comfortable and you've got to be ready because your body's gonna get beat up, obviously, as the season goes along.
Now, what I will say, and the positive, I guess, with this, and Nebraska has some room to wiggle, because they start out relatively lightly. Okay, so a lot of home games as well throughout the non-con, frankly, to where Nebraska will host Lindenwood. They'll host, and this is all in order: Lindenwood, at home against Florida A&M, at home against Rider, at home against Stony Brook. They go to a short destination in Sioux Falls and face Oregon State. Then Duchesne comes back and plays Nebraska at home. Cal State Fullerton plays Nebraska at home. Creighton is at home for Nebraska.
There's your biggest test of the non-con.
And that happens on December 3rd.
Yeah.
But the biggest point of this is Nebraska's at home for, what is that, 2, 4, 6, 9 of their first 10 games, right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Until December 6th, when Nebraska goes on the road to travel and play at Minnesota. And so outside of the Sioux Falls game.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I will also say about Nebraska
I mean,
is
it's more of a home game for Nebraska than it is for Oregon State. So I know it's a neutral site, but it's super close.
You're right. So I think you look at this Nebraska basketball team, and you maybe even look at some of the games that they played last year, right? And Nebraska didn't lose. I mean, and they played some poor teams. Maine, Omaha was pretty good under Chris Crutchfield.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas Pine Bluff. You had games against like Florida State at home, who was a really bad basketball team. Boston College as well. Nebraska didn't have that Kennesaw State or Incarnate Word type of loss last year. And so you kind of hope / expect that that's the case this year. You look at last year for Nebraska, and you could argue also that they've gotten better since last year. Did they lose 2 big key pieces of it? Yes, absolutely. And there's no replacing Derek Walker and frankly Sam Griesel, at least in those versions of themselves. But you look at last year for Nebraska, they win comfortably over Maine. They win comfortably over Omaha. They win comfortably over Arkansas Pine Bluff. They demolished Florida State. I believe that was on a neutral site. And they beat Boston College in the Big Ten ACC Challenge 88-67 at home. So you avoided those really bad losses that if Nebraska wants to find themselves as a tournament team come March or come February, I guess, they don't talk about winning those games. They talk about it if you lose those games, right? And so that's why it's such a big part. So once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. We got a question asking if Aaron Eulis is still a member of the team. As of right now, yes. Fred Hoiberg, since there hasn't been an official resolution or deciding factor on the NCAA investigation, he's still part of the roster. Aaron Eulis is, and Fred has been kind of open about that throughout the offseason. So, and don't forget, Aaron Eulis did reportedly take a plea deal in that whole situation, but that doesn't really do a whole lot for the NCAA eligibility piece of it. So in Nebraska, I mean, there's a lot of excitement, and we're about to enter the crossover season, if we haven't already, where Nebraska men's and women's basketball is going at it while football and volleyball are happening. It's about to get really busy starting next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting time, starting on Monday. And the women play their game against Northwestern State. I kept saying Louisiana Tech because I just remembered the outline of Louisiana. It's Northwestern State. On Monday at noon is how the women open up their season. So things are going to get really busy around the city of Lincoln starting next week.
Yeah. So once again, Monday against Lindenwood, I believe tip-off is at 7 p.m. for Nebraska and Lindenwood on Monday. All right, let's dive in a little bit to Nebraska football and most importantly, like their defense, because today Matt Rule talked to the media ahead of Michigan State one final time before the Huskers will take the road. And one thing that I got out of it was Marquise Buford Jr. All right.
Go on.
Marquise Buford has not played this season. He was out because of an injury towards the back end of last season. And as we know it, hasn't obviously not played, has an opportunity to gain his red shirt still for this year, playing in these 4 games. Matt Rule talked about it today on how Marquise won't start, but he's ready to play. But it's uncertain, obviously, if they'll find a spot to put him in. Nebraska continues on the defensive side to get pieces, I should say, back, like a Marquise Buford. Deshaun Singleton hit a little bit of a speed bump, so he'll be out for an extended period of time, though. But you look, and Nebraska's been fortunate to stay relatively healthy on the defensive side of the ball.
They really have.
Like, and you look at compared to like the offense, and they've been real lucky real fortunate on the defensive side.
Compared to the offense, they've had 0 injuries on the defense. Like it's ridiculous how many injuries there have been on the offensive side. But on the defensive side, they've had a lot of guys who have just, missed a game or two because it's like, he rolled his ankle or something. He's going to be out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Singleton's the from this season that has played this season, the person who's missed the most amount of games. Marquise Buford is a carryover from what happened towards the end of the season last year. So, in terms of guys who have played and done something on the defensive side, I mean, you've lost him for a little bit. You lost Cam Lenhart for a couple of games there in the middle of the season. So the defense, like you said, has stayed relatively healthy. And I don't know who that's a testament to, if that's a testament to the strength staff, the coaches, the players themselves, but they've just done a really good job of staying healthy. And I guess a question that I ponder, and it's a weird question, is like when Buford does get healthy, if he is healthy enough to play at all this season, do you put him into the lineup, or do you just keep going with what's working and just say, you're redshirting this year? I mean, even if he did play, he'd still be able to redshirt. But do you mess with a good thing and throw him in the lineup and take one of your other corners out or one of your safeties out and put him in there? Or do you just ride with what's going? I mean, with Deshaun Singleton, he's already played. He was on the defense when they were playing well, so you can throw him back in there, him and Phelan Sanford, switch back and forth, whatever. But with Marquise, it's a little bit different. He hasn't seen the field this year.
That's what's interesting, just the way that you navigate now with coaches, the 4-game redshirt rule. Because Nebraska, frankly, so they have 4 regular season games and then potentially a bowl game, right?
The bowl game doesn't count.
It doesn't count towards the red shirt. But now this is where if you have and Matt Rule spoke about this a little bit earlier today, where if you have a younger guy that has played on special teams, has played maybe a few snaps on defense, that you think, okay, we can just find a guy to plug in his role. It's more so on special teams than anything here. They have to monitor that, and they have to try to figure out a way to bring in another guy so that they don't burn a game just for special teams plays.
Just so
and
you can
I don't want to say just for special teams. Yes, exactly. And so that, but then here we see it where maybe it's a little more of a unique situation where Marquise Buford has 4 games remaining, has not redshirted in his entire Husker career. His freshman year in 2021, he played in every game. In 2022, he started the first 11 games before suffering that season-ending injury at Wisconsin. And then now, obviously, in his junior year here in 2023, has an opportunity to redshirt. Matt Rule also talked about how they thought about redshirting Tommy Hill and figuring out a way, but that's now moved on from that point.
Do that.
But he talked about how there was a moment of the season where Tommy and him had the conversation of like, hey, do we want to redshirt you just so we can figure out a role for you, right? But now Tommy Hill is kind of a big player on that defense for Nebraska.
He's found his role.
In a season where also he was asked to play both sides of the ball against Colorado, he was the one player that Nebraska continued to take deep shots to.
He was your deep threat receiver while also being one of your kick returners, while also being one of your corners or sub-in corners or nickel, say wherever they were throwing him on the defensive side. Like, he was all over the field. So I get having that conversation with him thinking, how about we sit out this year since we have all of these spots and you can fit into each one of these, but we need to find and develop a bigger role for you. But as the season has progressed, as the season has gone on, as more injuries have happened on the offensive side, for whatever reason, they took him off the offensive side, put him on the defensive side, and he's starting to thrive and starting to show up more on that defensive side of the ball.
Well, it was good. It was good to see. It was good to see the fact of him getting the 2 INTs on Saturday against Purdue, right? And you like to see, obviously, the fruits of the labor somewhat paying off and coming to fruition. But I mean, I just thought that was interesting because Marquise Buford has kind of been a guy that folks have forgotten about in that secondary. That the secondary, when fully healthy, the Deshaun Singletons of the world, Deshaun Singleton has really taken a step forward this year. but now has unfortunately been banged up. So
Deshaun was one of the best run stoppers.
Yes.
Just coming out from that safety position, running up and stopping the play.
But now you've seen the way, like, even a guy like Phelan Sanford has stepped in to that role that Deshaun Singleton had and played pretty well, pretty sustainable.
I mean, he earned a black shirt.
Yeah, for Nebraska and that black shirts defense. So it'll be interesting just across the board, not even just with Marquise Buford, across the board with guys like Riley Van Poppel and guys that are in that weird, all right, we've played them 2 to 3 games. Do we really need them here? Do we want to salvage that red shirt? What's the best play here while still putting your best options out on the field? So it's going to be something to watch as we navigate, and Nebraska, navigates their final 4 games, potentially in a 5th game with the bowl game regarding that red shirt rule and that red shirt situation with some guys. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll dive into Husker volleyball because they're trending towards the final month of their regular season before they get into postseason play. Obviously, the number 1 team in the country, the Husker volleyball team, has some big matches coming up this weekend and throughout the rest of the year. So we'll go ahead and sit down with our good friend, Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated, as he'll come and hang out with us and give us some insight on John Cook's program as they continue winning and just continue dominating across every area of the match. So we'll talk Husker volleyball when we return right here on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha. When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bärschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bärschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha. When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
It's football season in Nebraska, and that means coaches are busy making game plans. I'm Eric Hagan with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. Liberty Law's relentless trial attorneys serve all of Nebraska. To learn more, Visit libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
Gary Michaels Clothiers celebrates 40 years of serving Nebraskans in the men's of some of the most memorable moments. In our way of thanking you for 40 years, we are offering a 40% discount on any single one item in the store. 40% off any suit, sport coat, slack, sports shirt, sweater, outerwear, or shoes. To receive your 40% off on one item, be there by November 11th. Gary Michaels, 40% off for 40 years, located at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
Leaves are falling and the temperatures are cooling down. But don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Leagues are underway with winter leagues beginning on November 27th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf, inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at Double Eagle Golf.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale this Friday at Ticketmaster.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Whether it's playing on a sports team or creating art, it's important to encourage your kids to explore their interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Let your child know you believe in their passions. It can contribute to your child's focus and improve the quality of their schoolwork, too. So show that budding scientist some encouragement by helping them with an experiment or play catch with your baseball enthusiast.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ashiro's work is never done. You care for the house, the kids, and our future. We're so grateful for all you do. Now, it's time to care for yourself and save a little more for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to boost your retirement savings now. Visit aceyourretirement.org/Shiro today.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Herbie the Fourth ate his first solid food today, prompting a response of nothing but steaks all week for the Nebraska offensive line.
Then Enrique Alvarez Clary.
No more peaches and carrots for Herbie the Seventh. Baby food be damned.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick, Rico, and now Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated joins us. Lincoln, what's up, man?
Oh, not much. Enjoying the nice weather for
nice weather.
Still here.
Nice weather.
All right. What if we're running wearing shorts? So I'm doing that while I still can.
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
This is nice weather compared to what we've had.
Yes.
All right, we bring Lincoln in whenever we need somebody smarter than us to talk about volleyball.
I mean, it's not hard
today
to find somebody smarter than us
to talk about volleyball, and so here we are today. Lincoln, all right, so let's just start here. Nebraska volleyball, and this kind of went under the radar, loses a commitment from Aiden Ames.
Well, in most people's world, my world, it did not go underground at all.
Okay, in your world, it did not go underground.
Let me tell you, I got to live the joy that is Texas Twitter for the last couple days.
Way.
Oof.
Yeah.
Explain.
Well,
what happened?
I doing my job saying, hey, Aiden Ames has decommitted from Nebraska. She posted on Instagram yesterday. Was it yesterday morning? Yeah, yesterday morning that she just committed to Texas. So just reporting the facts, anything like that. All of a sudden, Husker fans react. I mean, no, this is bad. Best of luck to her. But then it starts getting picked up. I got Texas fans that follow me, and so I start getting retweeted and liked and comment. That blows up over the course of the day, and then Texas fans and Nebraska fans, they get along
they love each other.
Super.
This is great.
So then they start commenting, oh, this is why she left. She's afraid to compete. No, this is why she left NIL. And so they're just bickering back and forth in the comments. I'm like, I don't want to be part of this conversation.
Please take my name out of this.
No.
I mean, she's depending on where you look, anywhere from the second best player in the country, 10th best player in the country, the best middle in the country, I believe. And Nebraska has 3 underclassmen stars in the middle right now.
I was thinking about it. It's very similar to the Lindsey Krause situation. It's very unfortunate. You wish it didn't happen as a Nebraska fan, but Nebraska is kind of insulated from it. I mean, Lindsey Krause is out. Get better, Lindsey. We want her back on the court, but they have Allie Batenhorst to kind of pick up the slack. They lose a very good top, one of the best middles in the nation, but they still got Andy Jackson. They got a couple more years of Becca Alec. They got Maggie Mendelson as well, too. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but Nebraska's in position to be able to absorb a blow like that.
And I mean, that's, they had 4 commits before she decommitted. They had 4, right?
2024, there was 3 commits. There was her, Skylar Pierce, and Olivia Mock from Bennington.
Okay.
In 2025, there's 4 of them.
Okay. So with no seniors on this roster, they lose 1. They've got 2. They just need to make room for those 2 commits, correct?
Yes.
If they end up signing, as long as nothing crazy happens.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, there's always player movement. Nebraska's still bringing an outside hitter. They will have 5 outside hitters on the roster next year, which...
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Like, I don't want anyone to... You never wish somebody to transfer, but just looking at those numbers and the talent level of the 5 outside hitters, that one of them may get kind of, what am I like? What could I do if I was the L1 or kind of the preeminent player, if I had my own program to kind of lead? So that may be a possible point. And then sometimes, I mean, liberos, defense, I mean, Nebraska will also have 3.5, 4 defensive specialists on its roster next year too. And usually defensive specialists aren't scholarship for all 4 years for the most part. Sometimes there's a walk-on or there's a you pay for 2 years, we'll pay for 2 years type of deal. So, I mean, we'll see how the numbers take. John Cook has always said he has a plan. They have it figured out.
He always has a plan.
Don't worry about it. Well, now it's a lot more straightforward plan. I think now that they have one less commit.
Yeah, sir, I'm going to worry about it. I don't think you're going to this is going to happen.
Have you met Husker volleyball fans?
Yeah.
They're worried about it.
Nebraska, long homestand, hitting the road. The last time we saw them on the road for 4 straight games, 4 straight matches, there was a couple of struggles mixed in there. And they had it on the road this weekend. First matchup at Penn State.
Yep.
Tough team. Nebraska swept them here at home, but you head on the road to Happy Valley. It's a different story. What do you think we can expect, or what are we looking at against this Nittany Lions squad?
It'll be a great environment too. They've declared it to be a whiteout. They're selling their tickets for $5, so they're hoping to sell out Rec Hall. I mean, even if it's not a sellout, it's still a very intimidating. It's still a very intimidating atmosphere. The student section is always right next to the court, right next to the end line. The men's volleyball team is very vocal. They like to make their presence felt and engage in some friendly conversation with the Nebraska players.
Of course.
So, and I think that's, I mean, even though it's a little bit lopsided history, but Penn State, Nebraska was the original volleyball rivalry. Wisconsin supplanted it a little bit, but when Nebraska first came into the Big Ten, that was the rivalry in college volleyball, especially in the Big Ten. So I think there's still some strong feelings emanating from that.
And so just going, I know we're bouncing all over the place, but Wisconsin and Minnesota this last Sunday. Played after the Vikings and the Packers and drew crazy numbers.
1.659 million. And that I haven't seen specific, but that's for that window and the Ohio State Michigan window. They kind of they combine it for some reason.
Okay.
But still 1.6959 million is still a huge audience for college volleyball. I mean, the biggest they've ever had. So even if you split that up amongst two games, and I'm sure just based on what the NFL coverage match was, most of the people were watching Wisconsin, Minnesota.
It was fantastic. I mean, the match wasn't much.
You wish it was a little more competitive.
Minnesota. I mean, what's going on with Minnesota? They're just a down year. Taylor Landfair, the reigning player of the year, and this year they come in with all these high hopes. They're in the top 10, I believe, at the season when the season started.
Yeah,
and it's just been a rough go of it for the Gophers.
Even they were number 10 when the NCAA committee released their first standings about a couple weeks into September. So they still had some high hopes even after the season started. But from watching them, their passing is just shaky, which you're surprised to see with Kylie Muir came in from Ohio State. She was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year last year. But to me, just like Melanie Schaffmaster does not have the mobility. I mean, she's still a big presence. She can put up a block and still has great fundamentals. But when you add in the shaky passing and a little less mobile setter, the attack is not the same. And they really haven't utilized their middle blockers a lot too. I mean, they're relying a lot on their pins, and they have three great pins between Landfair, Worcester, and Grody, who transferred from California. But their middles have been largely MIA from their attack.
This last match that Nebraska played, Maggie Mendelson got the start. We saw Andy Jackson come in. No Becca Alec. Is that just, kind of, are there any injury concerns, or is that just a sitting out just to get some rest? And, you were going up against Rutgers or Maryland, both of them, and not the greatest teams. You don't want to overlook anybody, but that is also a Rutgers team that put up 4 points against Wisconsin earlier this year.
I don't think it's injury concerns, but it's maybe more preventative of, it's a long season. If you want to, it's a long wear and tear, especially middle blockers playing as physical as Nebraska does. It may be just a chance to save Becca Alec's legs from jumping a bit, get Maggie some run too. She's earned it in practice, as Cook has said. So it's just an opportunity to get them in, get them to stay fresh. So in case something they do need them to be called upon later this year, she's ready to go. Hasn't been sitting on the bench for 2 months. So they did that earlier. I think it was against Michigan State, where Maggie played the first 2 sets, and then Becca came in and played they were hoping she played just maybe 1 set, but that went 4. Yeah. So she played 2 sets. So, I mean, I think Cook's just trying to find ways, because of their depth, to get people into matches, keep them fresh, and get them some opportunities as well too. I mean, you saw Hayden Kubik came in for the end of one of the sets as well too. Just get her some more run, keep her sharp.
I mean, Hayden Kubik came in for Harper when Harper was hitting 400, which was strange.
Yeah, I think that was just Hayden. Let's
get you in.
And unfortunately, Hayden had a few back-to-back mistakes and got pulled because of it. But I mean, you give her that opportunity, so it's not such make or break situation. So hopefully it alleviates pressure. Like, this is my one opportunity to get in the court. I gotta save the world, or notch 5 kills in my 5 swings. So, but hopefully get more playing time for her eventually.
And Harper Murray, we talked to her after the Rutgers match. She had a good match against Rutgers. Against Maryland, not so much. She mentioned something about trying to prove to herself and her teammates that she's much better than that. I mean, but that's something that we've seen throughout the course of the season. Is she's a very solid player, but after one match, that's kind of like the competitive nature in these freshmen, that she has one bad match, she's like, no, I'm better than this.
Yeah, it goes back to the Wisconsin match too. Yeah, she felt like the first large part 3.5, 4 sets that she was very subpar, and she was hitting negative for that. So I think that's where she felt like she had something to prove, that she left a little bit. I mean, she had 7 kills on 9 swings in the 5th set. I thought that was pretty redemptive of her. But if she has wherever she can find motivation. I mean, you insert the Michael Jordan meme, so I took that personally. I mean, wherever you can get that motivation, when you're on that elite level of athlete, you take it and you run with it too. But it was good to see both Harper and Allie both have good nights. I mean, Allie struggled that Friday night, and then they kind of switched roles where Allie really stepped up on Saturday night against Rutgers.
Okay, so once again, we're hanging out here with Lincoln Arneal. Let's talk about what's going on at Pinnacle Bank Arena right now, because you have state volleyball, right? There's a lot of really good talent in the state of Nebraska that's not only just going to Nebraska, but there's just there's a great opportunity for just casual volleyball fans to go watch some really good athletes this weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean, go watch a match in Class B. You'll see liberos that are going to Nebraska and going to, I think, USC. You'll see a player headed to Oregon too.
Yeah,
and then I mean, even on these first round matches too. I mean, there's Division I players almost on every single match, especially during the bigger classes. And the lower classes, I mean, they may not be. I mean, there's a lot of Division II. When you look at the success that a lot of the Division II and NAIA schools are having in Nebraska too, those are the players that are fueling those programs. So it's a lot of high quality volleyball, and it's a great opportunity to go out and see some of the future stars of the collegiate game.
It's incredible because you look at some of this. So they provided for the first time, as you look on the laptop, all the players that are going to colleges, guys. And I mean, it's filled with names. So I mean, you look at like Class A, you have Grand Island, Lincoln East, Lincoln Pius 10th, Lincoln Southwest, all have either 3 or 4 players going to college. You have multiple teams that have 4. And one of those is, or I should say, I mean, Pavilion La Vista South has 5,
and they lost
in the first round last night. In Class B, obviously, you have Olivia Mock, who's going to Nebraska from Bennington, but then you have other ones that are going Creighton. I mean, even the Colorados, the USCs, as you mentioned, and then really good, lower level programs like the Wayne States and the UNKs and Fort Hays State. Like, there's some just overall really good talent down at Pinnacle Bank Arena right now.
That's Division II, number 1 ranked Wayne State.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just took down, I think it was the 9th ranked team. They swept them. So they're taking care of business in the top 10.
We talked to the Wayne State coach earlier this year, and he says that, I mean, a lot of the players that they recruit could play Division I, but they just don't play club volleyball, so they don't have the exposure, or maybe they're 5'9", 5'10" instead of 6 feet tall, so that they may not have a chance at that higher level. Just because they're an inch or two too short doesn't mean they're not spectacular players.
Is that kind of like, volleyball is kind of like basketball, where if you're not playing on the club scene, if you're not playing on the AAU scene, your high school tape only goes so far. Your high school numbers will only take you so far.
Yeah, because I mean, it's so hard, and the college volleyball and high school volleyball seasons overlap. And if you're only playing high school, it's hard for coaches to be able to see your tape and get out and watch you play in person. Because I think that's where real evaluations are done, is when you can see them in person, because tape gets you there, get you in the door maybe. But if you're not playing club volleyball, then when club season is huge from February to June, coaches aren't seeing you, so you may fall through the cracks. But that's where a lot of the schools, I mean, look at all the success that other Nebraska colleges have had at the lower levels. Those are the players that are fueling that.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you look at just Class A, and some of the smaller, you have the Marquette, the Creighton, the Oregon, there was another one in here, Cincinnati's, the UNLVs. You have those bigger name universities, even South Dakota, but then you also have UNK, Concordia, Morningside, Peru, Sioux Falls, Regis, Washburn, York, Northern Colorado, Morningside again, UNO, UNK.
I think a lot of the universities in the state of Nebraska are in the top 25 in their respective divisions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you mentioned South Dakota. I mean, they have a top 10 recruiting class in the nation because they got Laura Medic from La Vista South, and then one of her teammates as well, too. So, I mean, you can build a great recruiting class just by getting Nebraska.
That's incredible. All right, Lincoln, appreciate the time as always, my man. Always a blast to have you come in. Nebraska, it feels, as bad as this is to say, like a waiting game for that November 24th match.
It does. But I think the Friday night will be great. a great challenge. I mean, that's the one that I've kind of had my eye on too. And also there's a great documentary after the Nebraska volleyball game. Maybe you might see my face on TV. I don't know.
Oh, hello.
Hello. I had an interview. I don't know how much
we have a celebrity
not just on the video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. It's also going to be on the Big Ten Network. Lincoln Arneal.
Look at you.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
We had our voices on the Big Ten Network.
That is true.
We're all celebrities here.
Okay.
We're making it. We're making
We've made it. They knew better than to put me and Rico's face on Big Ten Network, but with Lincoln, it's different. That's Lincoln Arneal, Huskers Illustrated. Appreciate his time as always. Let's take our final timeout. We bring in Strick and Austin coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and man, the October incentives get better. You won't want to miss this. Happening right now at Coppell, you have 0% financing or $6,500 off MSRP on select new half-ton crew cab pickups. Yes, you heard right. Happening right now until the end of the month. 0% financing or $6,500 off sticker price. Those incentives are the best we've seen this entire year. Hurry on in while supplies last. Just take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All offers include trade-in bonus and with roof credit.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Berschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Berschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha. If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale this Friday at Ticketmaster.
Gary Michaels Clothiers celebrates 40 years of serving Nebraskans in the men's clothing industry. 40 years of some of the most memorable moments. In our way of thanking you for 40 years, we are offering a 40% discount on any single one item in the store. 40% off any suit, sport coat, slack, sport shirt, sweater, outerwear, or shoes. To receive your 40% off on one item, be there by November 11th. Gary Michaels, 40% off for 40 years, located at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
What is Kasasa Cash at Liberty First Credit Union? It's more. More earning, more freedom, more rewards. With Kasasa Cash, you earn up to 5.5% APY, and your rewards begin instantly from a penny up to $40,000, all without monthly service fees. Plus, Kasasa Cash at Liberty First Credit Union gives you more ATMs nationwide. When you want more, you want Kasasa Cash. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Gary Michaels Clothiers celebrates 40 years of serving Nebraskans in the men's clothing industry. 40 years of some of the most memorable moments. In our way of thanking you for 40 years, we are offering a 40% discount on any single one item in the store. 40% off any suit, sport coat, slack, sports shirt, sweater, outerwear, or shoes. To receive your 40% off on one item, be there by November 11th. Gary Michaels, 40% off for 40 years, located at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bershin Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bershin Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez-Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thanks again to Lincoln Arneal of Huskers Illustrated for hanging out with us.
He's the best.
Yeah? Yeah, okay, Rico.
Great guy.
Anyway, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line. We now cross things over with the gentleman from On the Block, Strick Austin. What's up? We should probably just make that a thing.
Chillin'.
Every single day.
Chillin'.
Every single day. That's what we need to do.
That is the greatest scene on. I will never forget that scene as long as I live.
I love how the mask changes too.
Yeah, with the face, the facial expression, because he was suited. Yeah. Hey, and then it was like chug.
And then he's doing the freestyle. He's like, I slash. I'm like, yeah. And then they're all dead. And he's just like, that was killing us.
and if you don't know, you don't know. No. And that's the problem. Some of you just are not movie buffs like me and Rico, but that's okay.
Austin, do you like movies?
I appreciate movies. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest movie buff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch a game before I watch a movie.
Really?
I'd rather watch a random college football game than throw on a movie.
Oh, dude, I love movies.
Speaking of that, there's nothing more I love than prior to college football season, ESPNU going through the top like 50 games of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And every day it's like, hey, this is number 48. And it's like Pittsburgh versus Va-Tech. And you're like, I never knew this is even happening, but we know it's a good game.
No, it'll hit you where you're just like, you're watching this like Marshall versus like Bowling Green. You're like, why is this number 39? And you're watching, you go, you know what? This game should be higher.
Yeah, why isn't it better?
Why I love movies, though, is I don't watch movies just for entertainment. Like, I literally look at every scene. I'm looking at backgrounds. I'm looking at.
You're thinking, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure it out. Like, where are you going? What you trying to do?
You should write
what you're trying to accomplish. Like, I really look at movies like that.
We could do Strick's picks with movies.
Oh, you could.
Pair a movie with a nice red.
I mean, there's a movie theater right over there.
Pair a movie with a nice red.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What movie does this
greatest, I think one of the greatest inventions for that was the what are they called? Like studio movie grills, where it's not just go and sit in the movie.
Oh yeah,
you go and like you sit down. You can have some wine. You can have some food.
Oh yeah,
you can recline, and it's like you're in your own living room.
You can get like pizza. The first time I ever did that was
the rich people thing.
Whenever, oh no, I did that in Omaha.
You see that?
It was fantastic. I did that with my dad. We went and saw The Last Jedi when it first came out. So we went there. We got a pizza, had it delivered to the seat. So he folds out the little tables next to us. So you recline, bring out the little table. They set the thing up. You get some pizza. Oh, it was good. It was nice.
You can do it. You can do it however you want.
What's your number one movie, Strick?
Listen, bro. There's a lot of them.
That's hard.
But
okay.
If you're talking about just those heart-wrencher ones where you just get into it, Top Gun.
Yep.
Was one. Laughing my butt off, Coming to America.
Great.
It's a great one.
Coming to America won way better than
there's no question.
Coming
no question.
to America.
Coming back to America.
Yeah.
And then I love like what was the one with it was gosh darn it.
Can be number one if you don't know the name.
Do you
enjoy The Bone Collector?
Do you enjoy Up?
With Denzel?
That's a good one.
There's some good ones. I just love those like mystery kind of suspense, intense movies. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. There's Strick's picks.
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. Texas won the World Series, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go Rangers!
Yeah.
Woo! Rangers did it. Hey,
Yeah.
Corey Seager. I mean, in Adolis Garcia's absence. I mean, here's the deal. Corey Seager looks every bit of that contract for what he did in this postseason. He earned. Don't forget the regular season. He led them to a ring. He's worth every penny of that contract.
The other part is I'm happy for them because they're a pretty good storied franchise. Been around a long time. Hadn't gotten the opportunity to get it done. Had watched Houston get it done and not themselves, and now they're able to get it done. So shout out to Dallas. I'm sure they went nuts, and they're going nuts this weekend to celebrate the Texas Rangers finally pulling through. So Dallas has got one now. The Mavericks, the Cowboys obviously have got multiples, and now the Rangers. So we've got the whole thing. Stars has got it.
Did they get one?
I don't know.
Did they get one?
I don't know if the Dallas Stars.
They've been in it, but I thought they had pulled one off at least.
I'm not even going to pretend.
Let's see.
I'm not even pretending.
And this is something we're going to talk about.
They got it in 88, or 98, 99.
Yeah,
nice.
I remembered it
Dallas
was like when
swept
I was there. I was playing there. I was like, I thought we got one.
They're 1-for-5.
Dallas, Champ City.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So now it's going to be free agent decisions that are sweeping the country, right? The Shohei Ohtanis of the world. I mean, that contract, it's going to be interesting to see where that market is at with his injuries.
Yes. So this is something we've talked about on the block. Does he go big market, or does a smaller market kind of take him into account, or does he do continuous? Does he continually go both sides, or which side does he focus on?
Well, I think with the universal DH this next year, he's going to be able to still earn his money just being a DH. So he's not going to have to worry about it while he heals his arm. Now, going forward, the game is conducive to two-way players now. Like it's very friendly to two-way players. So I think that he's going to stay doing exactly what he's done.
How old is he? Is he
29.
29. He will pitch until he's 33.
Yeah.
Then he's done. That's my prediction.
Then he's only hitting.
And that's something I said this morning, actually, was like, now this is the chance. This is a way where Shohei could take a 5-year deal. Do I think this is going to happen? Probably not. But a 4-year deal, get his, right? And then when he's at that age 33, reassess and say, okay, this is the type of player I want to be now. This is the type of market. You don't know where the strictly DH market is going to be when in 2027, 2028. So if it starts to skyrocket and home runs become a more important piece of the game, it'll be similar to like a bullpen arm right now where they're invaluable, and he's going to be able to get paid way more than as a two-way player.
So you say he's only going to pitch until he's 33. Do you and I mean, this is just a weird one. Do you think like as his career goes on, certain teams he's on, you get into some high leverage situations or something, he's not going to stop throwing like he could be a pitcher. You think at some point he might like, hey, I still got it. Let me go and face, 3 batters.
That's a very Legion baseball thing to do. You take a guy that hasn't pitched all season, you throw him out there in the postseason. But Strick can know. I mean, Strick can talk to this because he's played at the highest level. Once you give something up, I'm sure it's almost impossible to stay at that level if you don't have game reps.
There's no question about it, especially because just even for myself, for the short time that I was in extended spring, I'd go to extended spring, and they knew that I was a switch hitter, but they were like, because of the time that you're only able to spend on it, we're going to just stay left. And so that's most beneficial to our lineup for you. You know, you're strongest there, and stay left, stay with the strength. And so that's why I think you're absolutely right, Austin. I don't think you can just kind of jump into it.
Yep.
You're going to need those reps. Like you're going to need to do the pretty much go through the cycle of what the pitchers go through: running, throwing, long tossing,
flat grounds, bullpen work. Yeah,
you got to do that.
Yeah.
Man.
If you ask me if Ohtani is the opener for the final game of his career, maybe. The temptation's going to be there to use him, but you're not putting him in leverage spots.
Yeah. The baseball, I mean, postseason was really good though.
What is that? What is that thing that those guys are throwing that they throw in when they just need somebody?
Oh, position players.
That pitch that they throw.
The
ephus pitch.
Yeah, going like 60 miles an hour.
Man, that's absolutely hilarious.
Do you think any team would actually be willing to sign him to that? What Nick was saying, that like 3-4 year deal, like you're going to get him for 3-4 years.
Kansas City, baby.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, honestly,
you're trying to build a new stadium.
Seriously, like here's the deal: a mid-market team. It's a mid-market team. Like even,
but you'd have to be like a mid-market
like
team,
the Baltimore
close.
Orioles.
A mid-market team that's close.
Orioles.
He's not signing with the Royals.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Give him $65 million a year.
Well, that's exactly my point.
Who else is
there? So here's the deal: Baltimore.
Maybe Milwaukee.
Baltimore is a perfect example because Baltimore has a ton of young pieces. They were number 1 in the AL this year, so you can have that contender background, like hey, we're a playoff team. We are a postseason team. You take us over the top. Let's do this for a 3-year window where we have all of our other guys for only like a 2 or 3 year window anyway.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay, so Tampa came to mind for me too.
Tampa ain't spending money.
Baltimore. The one that I would love to see is Seattle. They have not gone all in on a star like that. I think they have still that Japanese market residual from Ichiro. I think Shohei would be huge in Seattle.
Yeah.
Shohei would be big in Seattle. I think the interesting thing with Shohei is like that's Julio Rodriguez's territory. Like you want to talk about going all in on a guy, like that's Julio for them.
Yeah.
Now Shohei is a much bigger star than Julio, but you don't want to piss Julio off in the process, I don't think.
But if you can get Shohei, is it not worth it? Like
maybe,
Julio's a top 15 guy in the sport. He's still young. He can grow into a top 5 guy. Right now, he's a top 15, top 20. If you can get the best player in the sport, they don't play the same position. Yeah, they'll share headlines, but I would hope Julio would understand, like, hey, this is our best chance to win a ring, right? If you can't get on board with that, that's on you, big
You
fella.
can pitch to Julio. Yeah, you pitch to Julio that, look, if we get a ring with him, it's just as much. Look, you still get a ring. It's not like that.
You were here first.
You're going to share the headlines. Yeah. You can both be in commercials, all right? They're not going to just take him. You can both be in it. This is your city, your town. This is a pit stop for him.
But see, you can have that same argument with Bobby Witt Jr. in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's why it's here's the
There's
deal.
nobody else.
Cole Reagans.
You
Vinny
need
Pasquantino.
You need a mid-market. Sorry, I got caught off guard by seeing a 95-year-old man jogging across the street.
He had plenty of time.
He's going.
He's late for the bus.
Oh, he's trying to get the bus.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hold the bus.
hold that door. Anyway, so that's why I think it's got to be a mid-market team, though. It can't be a large market. New York Yankees,
Mets
Los Angeles Dodgers. The Mets are in a full tear down and rebuild. Like,
let's do it again.
Texas Texas has $800 million like on their payroll already. Like they can't do it. So
the Padres had to take out a loan.
Well, Padres also lost their manager too. Gabe Kepler's now in San Francisco, which you just don't know if there's enough pieces in San Fran.
No, Melvin's in San Francisco.
Excuse me. Yes,
Kepler left.
Yes, that's right. Bob Melvin's in San Fran.
Strict, your point on Milwaukee, I think the Brewers are getting close to tear it down. Burns has 1 year left. Woodruff
Christian Yelich.
They lost their GM. They went to the Mets. Their manager's probably going with them.
Tear it down, Milwaukee!
I think Milwaukee's done for a couple years.
They're done for a few. If people are done,
because the NL Central, the Cubs, it's only. I mean, besides the Reds, if the Brewers tear it down,
wait a minute,
the Cubs will take over the NL Central.
Pirates are coming.
Shohei to Cincinnati.
Oh, shoot.
Shohei to Chicago.
If
the White Sox don't need him,
if Milwaukee's done, can I just throw this out? Because I think Austin and I are going to tackle this at some point. What do you think about NBA expansion? Timing of it, and the potential of it going back to Seattle and Vegas.
I mean, this would be the time. I think this is with how Seattle's sports have been going, if you can add that Supersonics market back and the way that Vegas just continues to expand and explode.
Yeah, it's going to be Vegas.
I'll say this.
They're hitting both.
They go to 32.
Yeah.
Strick, you and I have talked a lot about the CBA and the TV deal.
That's
expansion, I think, on the surface draws eyeballs, but that's 2 more pieces of the pie you got to cut.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of like, I don't know if the timing of it works.
But right now, like, there's so many stars. There's so many stars in the league, and they're concentrated on a couple of teams. If you can start spreading like before, there was a couple stars here and there, but now like every team has a star, and like it's almost a legitimate star on every team.
But is there enough filler?
I think there is. I think there's more than enough. There's so much talent in the NBA right now. You have guys that legitimately could easily make rosters that they're just slightly less talented. Maybe they're just a little bit of a worse shooter than that last dude on the bench for a team, that they're not making a team and they're having to go overseas or they're having to do some other things. Like, you have so many guys who have more than enough talent to make an NBA team. You just need to add 2 more teams.
Okay.
Is that why bench players are getting paid so well?
It's crazy. Like, Lord have mercy.
Because you're going to continue to see that number rise.
If
you don't want to lose that
I think it's going to spiral
bench.
down.
Peyton
I think
Pritchard?
it's going to go down.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go down
Peyton
before it
Pritchard,
goes up.
Stud.
It's crazy. But here's the last one. Here's the last one I'm going to throw out.
I would love Peyton Pritchard.
Garoppolo to the bench for Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
Boiler up.
What do you have to lose?
I mean, yeah.
Then why didn't you ship
Your top
Devontae
guy
out?
is frustrated, right? Why not?
Yeah.
You don't ship Devontae because you don't want to ship Devontae.
You don't want to,
he's
but
still
you
under
just admitted Josh McDaniels was the worst coaching hire of the 2020s.
Well, he's still under contract. You're not losing him yet.
Yeah, how about that guaranteed money between Las Vegas with Gruden and now McDaniels?
Oof.
I don't know why people keep hiring.
Is that like 120 mil?
Oh.
Because Gruden was 80?
Oh.
Something like that.
Gruden was 80 and McDaniels was 40?
They tried not to pay. They tried not to pay him, but they're gonna have to.
Yeah. All right, guys, what's coming up on the block today?
We got a lot. It's going to be probably my favorite show of the week. Bob Knight passes away. Sad news. Kind of diving into the complex legacy of that guy and other coaches. The Rangers win the World Series, but who's next? Which major sport team is next up to win their first championship? We'll talk some Nebraska, Michigan State to lead off hour 2, with the Big Ten also releasing its 2024 football schedule.
Nice. At 3.
We'll be on air for that. We'll go over it. And the Big Ten coaches want the conference to punish Michigan quickly.
Yeah.
Will they? What would that look like?
Hey, we didn't get to talk about it. I'm glad you guys are, because the conference had a call last night. Was it last night or Wednesday? Earlier this week, and every coach wants the Big Ten and Tony Petitti to
come down on
them.
That's wild.
But here's the deal: how much is? I know you guys are going to talk about this. Tony Petitti's legacy. This is a staple part of it. This is his example of like Kevin Warren with COVID. So it's going to be real interesting to see. All right, we're out of here. On the block coming up next.
Adios.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Gary Michaels Clothiers celebrates 40 years of serving Nebraskans in the men's clothing industry. 40 years of some of the most memorable moments. In our way of thanking you for 40 years, we are offering a 40% discount on any single one item in the store. 40% off any suit, sport coat, slack, sports shirt, sweater, outerwear, or shoes. To receive your 40% off on one item, be there by November 11th. Gary Michaels, 40% off for 40 years, located at 56th and Pine Lake Road, Lincoln.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bearschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bearschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference. At Sunbelt Rentals, they have an extensive line of tools and equipment to help complete any job. From lawn and landscape equipment to hand tools, pressure washers, portable generators for you tailgaters, and much more. Sunbelt Rentals makes it easy to get what you need when you need it. Drop in to see the experts at 5450 Alvo Road in Lincoln, or visit sunbeltrentals.com today to learn how Sunbelt Rentals can make it happen for you.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale this Friday at Ticketmaster.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the cool rooftop ready bar on the top floor of the hotel with great food in the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically